Hello again, everybody. Thatimix here, and welcome back to Frostpunk. This is the main story, of course, a new home hard noble campaign. We are on day 6, which should be our final day of super cold temperatures. At least for now, because we can see it's going to rise a level here, but way out there, day 10, which seems forever from now, it's going to drop again. But for now, yeah, last day of it. Last day we got to get through this. And we've got the scouts out here. Whoops. Yes. Can move this around too, but I can't zoom out. If I zoom in even at all, it's going into the city. So yeah, they've got 4.5 hours out there. Solid amount of resources. Coal is doing fine. The generator here is sitting at 80%, so it's almost all the way up. And if we look at our temperature, I've got this on, which I don't need to have on at night. That's an easy thing to forget. It's not as needed at night. But during the day, when I take overdrive off, I'm going to need it in this weather. So just cycle that off. See, everything else that's on, or that needs to be on, is, see the child shelter there, which we can't move that above chilly, so we're just kind of stuck with that at the moment. Okay. So that's our current scenario. It's time to move on with day 6. You can see research, we've got a ways to go, about halfway there on the law, so getting that steam hub in soon. Things are going well. We've got the captain to thank for that, says George Beaumont. And Edwina Atkinson, what a lovely morning. I'm ready to take on the day. And I think a lot of that is just due to having, you know, the beacon up and exploring. They're happy about that. Okay, so now we're up to 7 o'clock. Yeah, 88%. Gonna make it, but it's close. Okay, so I definitely want to get our engineers in to the workshop, and it looks like we're gonna have we got one sick absence, Claire Lyon, not having a super day. Let's see. Well, some of those 2 hunters aren't done. What about these? They're back. Again, sometimes no matter what you do, sometimes the hunters just depart later. So you just got to do the best you can with it. I think part of that's due to us being more spread out. You know, so only so much that can be done there. Let's, where do I want the people to go first is the question. And I think coal is still the priority. Much of it is we're burning, so we'll go ahead and throw 10 in there for that. And we don't need to worry about not assigning all the workers because none of them are sick, so 5 there. See which one. Yeah, that one's going to be done first. Generator stress level critical. 91% says that when it gets to 90, but we're almost to the point of being able to turn it. There we are, just before open, 10 minutes before open. We are going to get our second set in. So let's go ahead and max that out, along with this over here. So there's our gathering posts, fully staffed. We're going to have to wait on this. 8 o'clock. And guess what? They're still not back. So I can't even assign them yet. But what I can do is turn this generator off of overdrive. And then as a result of that, this is going to be chilly, so I will want to turn the heat up there, which we'll see in a second. Yep. And the child shelter turned that on, so it's up to livable. Well, because I didn't turn on. What happened is the children went there. So all of that is excellent. There, and as soon as the workers come in, of course, we want to take care of this. Let's go to cookhouse first. And since this is where the most lumber is, let's get to work on that. And then once we're done cooking, they can head up there, and that will take care of everybody that we have. We can't fully staff everything now, even after the cooking is done, because of what we spent investing on our scouts. And of course, they're gonna reach their destination soon, so we don't want to speed this up too fast and miss that. There we are. Scouts have reached the Lost Expedition, their first destination. Let's take a look at that. The rest of our people made camp here, too exhausted to go on. We should escort them to the city, and shows what you might provide if you explore. Could get some survivors. So let's take a look. A happy reunion. We enter the camp, appearing out of the driving snow. A choir of excited voices welcome us. Thank God you found us. We had been wandering for days until we couldn't go on any longer. Soon we'd begin to starve. Children and adults surround us, packed and ready to go. We can explore Gloomy Cave and Sturdy Shelter, but we've got to choose an option here. Do we want to escort the survivors? They'll set out towards the city, bring the survivors quickly and safely with them. We've got 4 workers, 9 engineers, 22 kids. Or no, that's 4 kids, 9 engineers, 22 workers. I had that backwards. Okay. Or we can send them to the city. They'll set out on their own. It'll take longer, and some of them may die. No, thank you. Let's escort them. And the price we pay for that, of course, is the scouts going back with them instead of going somewhere else. But they do return twice as fast. And the reason for that is given by the game in one of the little notes that pops up when you're loading. It's a situation where you might have, like, they're retracing a known route, so that reduces the speed, and they're also looking forward to getting home, so they're more motivated by the idea of a warm bed and all that. So we are not getting a whole lot of meals made because there's only one person working. Everybody else wants to eat. Again, those are ones that just came back from the recent hunt. So, looks like we're going to have a lot of things finishing up here at once. And just go ahead and slow it down there because I don't want to overrun anything. And there's the first one, which is the steam hub. Build steam hubs to create more heat zones. Okay, and we've got everything back here just by reloading. I tested out in between episodes here. I loaded this game back up, looked in here, and there was nothing, and then I went back out to the main menu, loaded a few other save files I have. Those all worked. Loaded this one, it worked fine again. So we had some kind of weird glitch there. But the drawing boards here, as you can see, is the 50 wood. And the 50 wood actually gets you nothing directly. You just have to wait for this. And now that we've got, the survivors on the way back, we really can't afford for another round of research. We need to get their houses built tonight, and tents. The steam hub's going to let us do that. Okay, so do we want to move forward now? Or we've got all the, resourcing options along here, and we could go out for more hunting. And we're definitely going to need more hunting now that we've got the people for it. So, on the other hand, are there other things that are potentially more important? And employment here is a big thing, a big question on this during the day, because having maximum employment, continuing maximum resources coming in is going to be a big deal. And so if we've got 20 some more workers and also some more engineers coming in, we're going to want more places for them to work. And then if we look at our current resources things, we want to get like faster gathering is an option. But, this steel here is almost gone. This steel is almost gone. We've got some wood left here, but not much. See, 7 and 20. See, they're still picking off this one first. But those will be going before long. This steel over here is majority gone. So, while we have a decent amount of steel saved up, we don't have a whole lot left out here. And then we've got this coal, which is almost halfway dead. And we've got these two here that are a little over halfway gone. So this gathering post is actually going to be wrapping up. We're going to be freeing up workers there, in addition to all the ones that are coming in. Bottom line is we need more places for people to work. And we could build like another gathering post out here. And maybe we build another sawmill. But we're going to need more than that, and we're going to need more steel before coal. So based on that, I don't think we have a lot of gathering left that I really want to push that's an important thing right now. I think the most important thing right now, of course, we have the option. I mean, we could just go for gathering more stuff and then just save up a bunch of coal and wood. And maybe we build some resource depots and do that. But I don't think we're going to be able to we're not going to be able to get enough employment out of that unless we were to research the coal thumper. And so I think we don't really need that yet. I'd rather diversify and have the steelworks available. And one of the reasons that I'd rather do this is that you can only build a limited number of these. So the sooner you get on them and have people employed in them is the better. So it costs 25 or 10 wood to research. It's a low research speed, a low research time item, and 25 wood is going to be the cost to build them. Not that bad. So we're going to go ahead with that as our next research item. Move forward. And now we're ready for a new law just a few minutes later. Okay, so we've done sustain life. And we've gotten the two branches that are really important in terms of being wholly positive, like the cemetery here and the shelters and apprentices. So we've got a couple options down here. We've got our overcrowding. Now we can put patients on the floor in our medical posts. Capacity is doubled, but using that capacity causes discontent. That's bad. Just signing the law causes discontent to rise slightly. That's also bad. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Extra rations for the ill. We can feed sick extra rations to help with their recovery. Well, I can foresee a time when we might have extra food to do that. Use extra rations to speed up recovery. No pluses or minuses in terms of hope or discontent. 10 food rations to speed them up. Doesn't say how much it's sped up. Cooldowns a day. But like if we sped up their recovery, then we could perhaps get the engineers and the patients out of there faster, have them work maybe the end of the workday after they've gotten sick overnight, stuff like that. So that could potentially happen. That's an option. I've also got the care house here. Gravely ill and amputees will be cared for at low cost in special homes. The new building is the care house. Gravely ill, they're kept alive. They don't burden medical posts. And the residents will eat half as much. So that's a reduction in how much food we've got to put out. Hope will rise slightly, but I do have to build a care house. Well, it being a plus hope item is a big part of the decision here because extra rations for the ill isn't. The other thing is we've got a bunch of survivors coming in. We don't know their medical condition. Maybe some of them are gravely ill. If they are, we want to be ready for that. So I think the care house is the definite option here. Now this does cost 30 wood. That's a moderately expensive thing, but there's up to 20 that can fit there, and we have yet to have a single gravely ill person. So, due to the care we're taking mostly and being careful with the weather and everything. So if we're taking care of this, we should only have to build one. At most. And we're going to have to build one if we sign this because we're promising to do that. But I'm going forward with the care house. I think that's the option. And blather on about that. We're probably not going to have time to hear anything about it until the scouts come in. Oh, there's our first comment. More food and beds for the rest of us. Scouts have arrived. 4 children, 9 workers, or 22 workers, 9 engineers. So a total of 35 people. I can disband them or send them back out into the Frostland. Well, we're definitely not going to disband them. Let's head out. So now we've got 3 choices. Now we've still got the observatory. We've got the gloomy cave. There's a dark cave entrance visible on the hillside. We think we saw a faint wisp of smoke coming from it, but it's gone now. 20 hours to there. Sturdy shelter, 22 hours away, southwest. A bulky cylindrical construction stands on a small hill. The Union Jack flies over it, but there's no sign of movement. And I like how you can just barely see little bits of these, like in the distance. I just think that's a cool touch here. You can just see tiny little things where you can't even hardly make out what it is, but you can see where, okay, I see maybe what they're looking at. If they looked at that for an hour or so, they might be able to figure out what this might be. They're just peering off into the distance. But the sturdy shelter and the Arctic Observatory look to be like fairly safe locations. They look like they're things where, no sign of movement, but it's a sturdy building. It's got the flag flying. Everything's fine there. And this one, there's smoke, and it's an observatory that was built for scientific purposes. But this one, saw a faint wisp of smoke coming from, but it's gone now. It looks like there might be a more pressing need here. So based on that, if we don't go there, it might be too late. And I don't think that's a mechanic in the game, but just from the role-playing aspect of how I'm approaching this campaign, that's the sort of the philosophy I'm going with. So 20 hours, we're heading to the gloomy cave. Scout number 1. Only scout, of course. We can't build anymore. And by the way, if you try to build another beacon, I can't do that, even though I've got the materials for it. You can only have one. At least right now, I can only have one. Okay, so now we've got all of that taken care of. We've got a couple people now in here cooking food off. Oh, yes, and here they're showing all of our wonderful refugee survivors. Bags slung over their back. We got them carrying stuff on the sled. Reunions. It's heartwarming to see families reunited after so many hardships. But shouldn't there be other settlements nearby? Well, we did spot possibly one. The first expedition left London long ago. They ought to be well established by now. They'll surely help us find our footing. We'll look for the others. So we're not the only ones who tried this. Very interesting. Okay, and so now we've got everything, at the beginning of a process. They're not going to arrive for a long time. And we're finishing up the cooking here, though. And now we're done. So we're going to pull them out. And they can go up here for the rest of... Whoa, hold on. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact we just got a bunch of extra people in. Hee. Yeah, they're going to go eat. Of course they are. I'm going to throw engineers in here. See how much good that does. But there's only just over 2 hours left in the day. So my guess is we're not getting anybody to work. Because they're all hungry. Which, you know, the idea is that they were about to starve, so why wouldn't they be hungry? And we've got 35 homeless as well. Oh. Okay, so we're going to definitely want to go overdrive here. Yes, go rest while you can, absolutely. Those crates are gone. You can see the crates over here. Well, you can see where they used to be because it's all filled in. And of course, that's eventually going to happen over here. So we've only got 16 wood. I imagine that's going to be gone tomorrow. 3 steel, that's probably going to be gone tomorrow. So tomorrow's probably the last day that anybody works in this building. And then, let's see, over here, yeah, still some steel left. We've definitely going to have a busy, busy night. But the good thing is, you know, there's a lot of work to be done because of the new people came in, but we also have the ability to do the work. And we're at 76 rations, with them needing at least 35. So we're going to burn through quite a bit of that, but I think that we have enough. So we're definitely going to want to keep the hunting rolling, especially since we're electing not to upgrade that. And then what do we need? Well, we need warm housing is what we need. But we can just put, we want to start by putting that last tent in the inner ring there. See how many people we can draw off that way. Eating, and all of them going to eat. Not interested. Alright. And then the question is, where else do we want to build? And these are all larger. If I go into the streets, I can see it better. These are all the larger, like 3-wide buildings. Eventually, I'd like to, you know, I'd be going into 2 out here. So I don't want to mix and match and not use the territory well. So let's build somewhere, you know, where we can put a steam hub, and we're gonna get some buildings that are gonna be out here so we can warm them. And what's such a situation? Well, it seems really obvious that this is a good place to do it. Right along here. Now, the one thing about the steam hub is it's got to be on a street. You can place it out here, out there, even right, like it looks like I'm right next to it. Nope, I've literally got to be on, not even just adjacent. I've got to be on the street. So that's a thing. And then, you know, as sort of an ancillary thing, if I put it out here, then I can get benefit to, well, the hunter's cabin isn't that big of a deal, but I can get benefit to the 2 workhouses or workshops. And I don't really need that, but they'll help. You know, so that's why maybe I'm going to put it here. Although I'd like to, yeah, I'm not as concerned with not getting that one workhouse. I'd like to sort of put it, because this is row 1. Like, this is the edge of row 1 and 2. And this is the edge of row 2 and 3. So it's like it's halfway out. And so it can supply, you know, things all the way, like in 3 different circular rows. So I like the idea. You know, I could put it either one of these places. For now, I'm going to stick it here. And the other thing I like about these steam hubs is that, you know, you put them on the street still works. It actually doesn't take up any space in terms of the land. It's just going to have an area around it. Now, our generator itself, just want to take a look at that, 72%. Again, it's not going to last the night. But let's get our building going, and then we'll worry about that. So, obviously, we need a place to keep them warm. And then let me go in here before I forget. And turn that off. It says chilly, but it's not going to stay chilly. Because it's going to, like, the overdrive's going to kick in. I just haven't given it time to do that yet. Okay, so yeah, we've got people building. Let's get this steam hub in place. Eventually. There we go. Everybody else eating, even though we've got this stuff building. So, I mean, and I think some of these are the survivors that are going to be sent out hunting, which is unfortunate, but I can't decide not to make them go. You got a situation where they're just more hungry. So, eventually, we should be able to take care of this. All right, so yeah, just building more housing, you know, just in this area by the steam hub is sort of the plan here. Now we're starting to pull some of them out. Yep. That's everybody over here. What about on the other side? Oh, we all still want to eat. Okay. What about now? You still want to eat. One more, because that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 houses for 35. Now you're willing to build. You just get enough of them out there. There we go. So, there's our third tent. Okay, so we've got housing, and now I want to deal with food because I don't think 3 is going to be enough. If we have 4, that's 60 people going out every night to feed 115. That might be enough. We've got other stuff I want to build tonight, so I only want to do one of these, but I do want to do one. So let me jump in here, the hunter's hut. And, you know, I sort of like the idea of just fitting it in here between the beacon and this gathering post. And the other thing is it's, you know, like we've got the one out on the rim over here. We got another one out on the rim over here. And then we'll build other places. But I like this being here, just as a spacing thing. Let's throw a street up. The nice thing about the situation here is, I mean, we still got 59 wood, 65 steel. We've still got some building materials for sure. Okay, so that might be enough food. Now, then we want to worry about the medical situation. And I'll be really surprised if we don't have some sick people from this group coming in. It's just logical there would be. Let's definitely get another medical post up. And there's no reason why that can't go right over here with this stuff. It's the same size as a house. It requires heat. At least some heat, so, you know. Let's go ahead and throw that up there. Yep, it's too chilly to work, but that won't happen once this gets put up. Okay, now we're down to 34 wood, so we're almost out. And if we look at the situation, is do I want to build a care house? Or do I want to get another sawmill going? I think that's sort of the choice, because I can't build both. And my thinking is the right way here is to build another sawmill. I can have more people working, gathering stuff. Now, where do we want to do it? That's the question. And we don't want to... We're still cold enough tonight that I don't want to build it somewhere super far away. So that's got to play into this also. Is there somewhere... we've got one up here. I'd like to build this artery down here, but I don't want to spend that much extra time out in the snow. So what if I built the care house instead? And, honestly, again, from the benevolent standpoint, that might be the best option. Well, we got size-wise. It doesn't fit exactly but it's close to the size of the... It's like a 2x3, if you will. Not by 3, but it's wider. It's a little bit wider than the tents, but it's a 2 width here instead of a 3, like these. Yeah, but I don't mind putting it right here by the cookhouse. I don't see a good reason not to. I might like it to be like closer on the inner ring. But is there a good place for that other than where these are? I might want to bring housing over here. On the other hand, I really do want to build the care house on this ring. I'm thinking, like, if I build another shelter, I'm going to want that probably next to this. So, I'm just going to set it over here. Right next. Or do I put it... Nope. I don't want to do that. I want it to be on here so that, like, when I expand the range of the generator, it covers it. Yeah, let's just do that. I'm sitting here arguing with myself, but I think that's the answer that I'm going to go with. And let's see. Now, I am eventually going to want to build west here, so if I'm going to connect the street, why don't I just do that and do that small jog over. There we go, and literally one wood left. Well, I don't think I'm going to do any better than that. Let's build it. Let's build it. And my oh my, is there going to be a lot of work to do tonight. Let's go and speed it up and get this done. See how long it's going to take. Alright, you see these blinking down. But we've got this steam hub here. We want it to run 24 hours or just during the day. And we definitely want to run it 24 hours. Because it's not, otherwise this stuff isn't going to be warm. A care house has been established in accordance with a new law. Hope rises. But yeah, just during the workday. Actually, we want this more at night. That's as a night time steam hub. Generator stress is critical. Yes, 91% again. Okay, so we're going to want to slow this down. I think. Well, not yet. We can keep it going here for a bit. And we don't need anybody else in here yet, because we've got just the 2 sick right now. But we're not quite to the overnight period. Okay. Turn off the overdrive. The generator stress level is at critical. You have to turn off the overdrive. No. I actually don't have to turn off the overdrive. I can do whatever I want. We don't want it to blow up, but we're going to use it for as long as we can get away with. So now we'll slow this down. 97%. Oh, we got 3 ill. Well, we can still handle 5 here, so that's fine. 98%. 99%. And if you've never done this before, you'd be like, shut it off, shut it off, shut it off. That's 100%, and it's going to blow. The generator has been damaged and is going to blow. We can fix it, but only a child is small enough to fit into its mechanisms. Alternatively, a steam core could be used to shunt some pressure from the damaged assembly. Send a child to fix it. The child will probably die, discontent will rise greatly, hope will fall great. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We can't do it. Generator will blow up and our city will die, and that's exactly what will happen. Or we can use the steam core to fix it. Discontent will rise. But that's what I'm going for. And basically, the choice here is, obviously I'm not going to send the child or give up. But by letting it go this high and using the steam core, you know, we only have one steam core. But by doing this, you know, we are able to keep people warm at the price of, you know, a valuable piece of equipment. So I'm putting the people's lives, the people's health, you know, ahead of valuable equipment that we could use later. So that's sort of the trade-off here. And people aren't happy. There are people that are hungry. Well, go eat then. We've got food for you. Unpopular decision. There we go. And ignored request. So we've got a fair amount of discontent now. But if we look at our generator, it goes down by 1/3. So it's taken off some of the pressure. It's not great, but we only have to get through till the morning. Now we can. I think we got everything built, didn't we? Yeah. So everything's looking good. Take a look at our temperature. Well, that doesn't need to be on. There's nobody in it anyway. Yeah, the steam core is on. And, yeah, we don't need anybody in the medical post at the moment. So, yeah. We're looking good. Well, 3 more people sick, and there's 5 being treated. Okay. So now, I've definitely got to put more engineers in here, which is going to limit how much research we can do tomorrow. But, it sort of is what it is. There we go. 9 people being sick. So now we're going to have 10 engineers plus the 9 others that are sick, all being treated. Fantastic. And we've also got other problems. You can see we've got 19 kids, only 15 in the child shelter. So there's 4 that are not in shelters. So then that's a problem that we're going to need to deal with soon. So there are multiple things going on here. And we didn't have enough resources to fix all of them. But we got everybody housed, we got everybody medical care. That's not bad at all. That's actually pretty darn good. And that is day 6. Zoom out. Nope, not that far. Now that it lets me zoom out super far, I don't really want to do that. But we can see here that, you know, we've got that extra bit there that's been added. And we continue to expand this area. So Again, the city just slowly taking place. We've got an extra heat zone now there with that wonderful steam hub. That's helping us out. So the next time up, we're going to be looking at the steelworks probably finishing. We'll be looking to get into that when we can. We're going to be getting better temperatures out, which is going to be great. We've got the scouts out to their latest destination. All kinds of fun stuff. So now we have a larger population. We can branch out and hopefully do some new things. That'll be coming up in day 7. Until then, thanks.